UFC lightweight, Khama Worthy, man. Back to back. You're back in the cage. Less than 2 months, September 5th. Always good chatting with you, man. How's life right now?
Busy, but fun. Exciting. We're closing up camp and stuff, so it's exciting. Getting ready to throw down.
Yeah, man. Most people in the world, they're not busy. Some of them are just stuck at home, sitting around, Cheetos figures and all that, right?
Yeah, right. Eating bad and picking up more bad habits. So
Mhm.
I'm blessed to be in the situation that I'm in. I count my blessings at this time.
Definitely. Now, with the situation you're in, with camp going on and you got the fight going on, you're busy, you're traveling all over the place to train. Does that kind of carry over with your life at home too? You kind of keep your family in check, keep them from picking up bad habits.
Yeah, man, because the kids, the biggest thing now with the kids is because they're kids, they got out of school early, so they just develop habits, and a lot of them are bad, and you just gotta. So I'm also being the enforcer. Like, my girl, she's busy. She's a nurse instructor, so she like teaches classes for nurses who do in-home work. So she's on her computer. There's just like two freaking computers, look like fucking Batman and shit. All these damn computers. Then we have a 2-year-old who we're not taking her to daycare anymore, so we're constantly working with her. Then the kids are running around, there's kids' birthdays and this and that. They're like, all right, we gotta get you guys ready for school, and it's all that. And then I'm like, all right, deuces, I gotta go train, I gotta go teach class, I gotta go recovery and all. So it's a whole bunch of like anarchy going in. Everyone has to like give in their proper dues. And right now, I'm like really, it's good because it kind of like chimes in with my getting ready for fight camp, because as I start to like link in the fight camp, I get a little bit meaner. So it's cool because now I'm also instructing the kids like, no, don't, no, it's time for bed. Get up at 7:30. I want you to see, so I can like kind of be a drill sergeant. It comes kind of a little natural because I'm hungry as shit. So that works.
Well, I guess with the chaos going on, and then when you finally get to go to train and step into the cage, it's almost like a relief for you. Other people, they feel the anxiety, but maybe for you not,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, like the anxiety, like right now, the anxiety builds up from the fight. Like you're thinking. But once the fight week happens and you get there, it's fun. Then it's like, oh, this is fun. Oh, finally. And then it's like, fuck, I gotta finish cutting weight. And then like once you get that weight off, you're like, oh my God. They're like, oh shit, that's right, I gotta fight tomorrow. And then it all kicks back up again. So it's a real weird feeling, and then like it doesn't kick back to being fun again until you're fighting. Then you're fighting, like, oh yeah, I forgot how much fun this shit is in there. So it's like a whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah. Speaking of fight week, your last fight, you actually went to your first pandemic fight week, and how
Yeah.
different was that for you?
It was just weird because the UFC, like they create that bubble and they keep you locked up in that bubble and they make that work efficiently. We've already actually done pre-COVID tests now, because I don't know how it happened, but Open St. Preux tested positive on Friday,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Weird.
weird. I mean, arrived there, tested, was cool. I don't know if he went out somewhere or someone came in and got like, or somehow he got in, or if it was like an incubation. I like, we don't really know exactly how the whole COVID thing works, or if it was a negative positive. I mean, it could have been a negative positive. I haven't really looked at his Instagram to see like how he responded to it or whatever. But yeah. So like, it's just weird. Like, like my coaches, actually, my teammate just fought in Bellator last week. So they got tested 3 times already. So then they're going to be tested again. And I just did a at-home COVID test, because they make us do at-home COVID test. You mail it off, and then they'll check to make sure you're good. Then you come there, and you'll do your regular 3 tests there and stuff. So they're taking as much precaution. So it's definitely different. It's a little weird, but like it's kind of something to take your mind off of what's going on.
Did it affect you any, like going into the fight, like with the weight
So
cut and everything?
that's the only thing that kind of, it didn't screw me over. It's just I like to cut my weight in the sauna. I like to be in a big sauna, and I like it to be like really hot. And I was just going there. I usually like put my feet in ice, and I'll just sweat out the weight perfectly. but they have us in those little like miniature saunas and shit, and it's like they don't get hot enough. Like I'm actually bringing this time. I'm bringing my own like miniature heater to put it in there to crank that motherfucker up because it only gets like 145. I need to be like 180, so that way I don't have to move it because I had to like move around to cut the sweat. And that was like exhausting and stuff. So I didn't. And then when I got into the thing, I didn't want to really move around that much. I had to sit in there for a little bit more time. So it took I wasn't like running to the weighting. I was actually really underweight. I was really under. I weighed at 145. I mean 154 for my last fight. I was like, oh shit, I could drink like a pound of water or some shit. But I think I was just kind of worried. I didn't know if I had done enough with the weight because it was just irritating like that. I didn't like cutting weight that way.
Well, you went in there and you had a third round finish against Luis Pena, a gritty, tough fight, totally opposite from your last fight. What did you not like about the performance you had?
I took a little bit of time. I had some minor hiccups on the ground. I should have. There was times I could have done stuff. I was just like, oh shit. I was worried about his darce because he's so fucking long. And I gotten caught in the darce the week before leading up to my fight, and we were like trying to work on to make sure I didn't get it again. As soon as he got the side control, I kind of got. That's all I was thinking about. I didn't really think of my own stuff. And then once he got to my back, I kind of should have pressed the action a little bit more because he never really attacked. He kind of like just was trying to contain position. And once I realized that, which was like 30 seconds into him being on my back, I should have attacked it a little bit more. So because every time I attacked with him on my back to really roll him over, he wasn't physically strong enough to hold me. Even at the end of the second round, when he got my back again, I rolled him over even faster because I knew exactly how he set up control with the hips. His hips were a little bit different. And I wish I would have like done that. His hips weren't really wrestling hips. They were like kind of weird. They compressed weird places and stuff. So, but I mean, besides that, I think I did everything else. My striking was on point from beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. And then once the third round hit, I think I really was just like, okay, well, he's desperate now. Motherfucker, like, realized he's going to be shooting, and I was able to stop all his takedowns and set up my finish.
Yeah, I feel like you answered a lot of questions in that fight, too, because the first fight was so quick, and you proved that you have knockout power. It's just like, can this guy get over some adversity? And that's what you did in that fight.
Yeah, and I like this, and I like that get a third round finish, too. That lets people know that I'm not coasting, motherfucker. I'm trying to finish you the whole fucking fight. I'm like, and that's. I mean, and like, if you even look at my record, I have like, I think like three or four third round finishes because I'm 3 of them. I know for sure in 2 of those fights I was down 2 rounds. I come out in the third round, I knock a guy out. You know what I mean? Like, and like this one, I was tied 1-1. A lot of guys I think are front runners, and once they get behind, they just don't know. Their brain just can't comprehend how you were. I mean, like you can tell how. I mean, like it like I always tell people, like now, like I say, I always say I hate that word prospect. I hate that. In MMA, they use it all the time. This guy's a prospect. I'm like, he's 6-0. How the fuck is he a prospect? Like, he's 8-0. How's he a prospect? Like, you haven't lost yet. You haven't been losing a fight and had to come back and win. Like, you're not a prospect. You're good and you're phenomenal. You have potential, but you're not a prospect. Like, nah, like you haven't been knocked out yet. Like, you've never been knocked out? Nah, man. Like, now it's different. Like, if you've been through top-ranked guys like John Jones or Khabib, they've gone through top-ranked guys and they've never been knocked out. That's impressive. They never lost. That's impressive. But then I always say, I prefer guys like Bisbee or like Overeem, those guys that have been beaten and they keep coming back. Those guys are more. Those guys are scary. And then people like look. I mean, it's like what happened with Brunson, with the last Brunson fight. You can tell that my man was good. Dude's solid. I'm not talking shit. My man, he's solid. But you could tell when Brunson didn't go anywhere, he was like, oh, fuck. And Brunson just stayed in his chest and stayed. And he just like wilted under pressure. And it wasn't really a physical thing because he's younger than him. He's explosive. It was a mental, his mind was just like, I don't want to fucking beat. I got to come back. I'm losing. I lost the last round. Now I got to come out and beat you this round when you have the mental advantage. You think you're going to do the same thing. And he just collapsed. And I mean, if you've never been pushed like that in a fight, and then or maybe you've never been pushed like that in training, and then you get pushed like that in a fight, like the back of your head is just like the back of your brain's just going crazy. Like, oh my God, what's everyone think? Oh my God, look, how do I look? I don't look like I used to in my other fights, and you wilt under pressure. It's a lot to come back from.
Yeah, I think, the UFC, the undefeated record is sexy when you come in and everybody's hyping you up, and then when you do get in there with someone like you, and you lose, or you just get your ass beat for 2 rounds and you can't come back, it could destroy you. I think that's what happens a lot of times.
Or Ronda Rousey, R.I.P. Like they hyped it up, and they're like, "You're Jesus, and you could beat Floyd Mayweather in the boxing match." And then she got kicked in the fucking head, and she was like, "Oh fuck!" And then she came back again and got scorched, and she's like, "Oh, I'm done." She's like, "I'm done." She just never did it again. I'm like, and everyone goes, "Oh, but she broke record." I'm like, I get that, but she talked and she said she was going to go down in history for doing all the things, which is true, but you didn't face any adversity. When you faced it, you quit. You went to pro wrestling. I'm like, nah. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you did before that. If she would have come back and just kept fighting and did a couple more fights and then decided, that's fine. But to me personally, I'm like, yo, that just showed that you're a front runner. And in this sport, front runners get showed up. Like, you can't be a fucking front runner. Like, you have to know how to lose. Like, even with Sean O'Malley, I don't like how he approached his last fight. He's like, "Oh man, I'm better than him. He's a bum." I'm like, dude, you lost, and you're not permanently injured, and you stop fighting. Like, dog. I mean, in the Contender Series last night, that dude could barely fucking walk, and he finished the fight.
Yeah, both legs.
I'm looking like, yo, dog, like you checked the fuck out, and you got carried off in the stretcher. Like, I mean, like, and then like especially for those guys, like these young dudes that talk all this shit and stuff. Like, he was talking shit on Cody, he was talking shit on Henry Cejudo. I'm like, Henry Cejudo had the same shit that happened to you happen to him in his fight. He came back and won a title fight.
Yeah,
a title fight, a 5-rounder. With his shit all fucked like that. Freaking, he won 2 like that because freaking Marlon Moraes messed his leg up too with the same kick. I'm like, what's his name? Michael Chandler tore his leg up the same way and kept fighting on. Like, what's his name? Fought John Jones with a torn meniscus or whatever. Like, so it's all about what you're willing to risk and how much you're willing to die for it and how much you're used to that feeling of being behind it. You could tell that he wasn't used to that feeling of being behind. And then he just took the easiest road out. It's not a bad thing. Hopefully it's a lesson learned. Hopefully his brain approaches it and realizes it's a lesson learned. Don't just be like, "Oh, I fucked up." Like, I hate saying that in fights. "Oh, I made a mistake. I got caught." No, you got knocked. I mean, I'll tell you, I got knocked the fuck out. I didn't get caught. I did dumb shit. I made dumb calculations, and I paid the consequences for them. Guys like, "Oh, I got caught." Nah, you ain't gonna learn. Like, you either learn from your losses or you're going to repeat them in the story. So I hate that about MMA. Prospect. Like, what's that Russian dude's name? The guy that fought twice in 1 week.
I don't even know. Kazmat.
Yeah, Shaman, whatever the fuck is that. I'm like, listen, dude. Everyone, like, like, "Oh yeah, he's just fight fucking this." I'm like, come on, yo, like, don't do that. Like, that's so disrespectful. Like, we built this sport up for so long. Like, boxers would never do that. You would never see somebody win some super slick boxing and guys like, "Yeah, he should fight the world champ." That would never come out of anyone's mouth, like, ever. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, it just wouldn't happen. Like, it's just not. But for MMA, they're always like, "Oh yeah, I bet you." I mean, like, there were like real journalists be like, "Why don't we just?" I'm like, damn, like, who did he beat? Like, he beat 2 guys, yes, but who, like where like, who were they? Were they top 50? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, he looks, don't get me wrong, he looked impressive, but can he take a hit? Can he come back from being behind? I'm like, and he's out smash, then he's out there calling people and they like that shit. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that shit, man. Because if not, you look stupid. Like, in the end, you're going to look dumb when you lose and then everyone's making memes of you and shit. Like, yeah, like, you look fucking dumb and you deserve it. And then you'll break mentally before you even actually, like, have the opportunity to get where you need to. So I'm like, I stay in my place. I play my zone. I, like, understand But I mean, I'll like to fight the prospect guys. But yeah, you're undefeated. Sweet. You want to fight? That's cool. Yeah, they're hyping you up. Yeah, you got a lot of fans and shit, and a cool T-shirt and a nickname. Cool, I'll fight you. Like that's why I wanted to fight Azaitar. Like it's 12-0. I'm like, yeah, the Bulldogs. Fuck yeah, that's somebody I want to fight. Like that's like let's see if you can come from behind. Like I said, I've been behind lots of fights. I've been getting my ass kicked in fights and come back and had to kick people's ass instead. So I know the feeling.
Yeah, we talk about your next fight, Ottman. He's a guy, you saw his debut. He's a wild man. He goes in there and he's headhunting. You know what I mean? I think that he's lived his career doing that and he's done well for himself. You know, what makes it exciting for you, that style?
Headhunters get tired. People even though I have hit knockouts, I don't headhunt. I just make people run and stuff and it's a fun fight. He's going to fight. That's what I like. Like from what I see from Azaitar, he's a fighter. He's going to come in and he's going to fight. He's not going to try to slow the pace of the fight down and just be content not losing. But when he starts getting hit, he's going to start being really weird and out of his element and stuff. Like I've seen him fight. Like he gets tired fast because he throws so much heat. And I think the guys that he set up, the guys that he fought in his career, they were good fights for him. He's big and he's a big Moroccan superstar. He's driving around Porsches and shit. I'm like, dog, I would get on your ass. None of that shit's gonna save you. None of your superstar status or whatever, your whole country behind that's not gonna save you when I'm trying to split your skull open and you're punching and you're missing. That's the biggest thing. I'm gonna make you miss. I'm gonna make you miss a lot, and when you do connect, I'm gonna come right back at you. I mean, like I think I showed that enough in my last fight. I'm like, if you miss, I'm gonna make you pay, and if you hit me, I'm gonna make you pay again. I hope I never fight anyone from Dominic Cruz's team because he figured that shit out like right on my fight. I watched the commentary, and Dominic Cruz is like, oh, I like his footwork. He's doing. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker's dissecting my whole style. It's here, dog. So I'm like, I'm not fighting nobody from Cruz's team because he's figuring my shit out real fast.
Yeah. So do you think Ottman, he's gonna come out and play the striking game? Is that what you're expecting from him, or do you see him wrestling against you?
He might. I mean, like if he does wrestle, it's not his first nature. I mean, he wrestles in fights. He shoots like takedowns and stuff, but like he shoots with his face down. So if he's shooting, I'll probably knee him in his face or something. I wrestle. I just don't like to wrestle. I wrestle. I just believe if I can take you down, I could have punched you, and I'd rather punch you. For me, it's more effective for me to punch you. But no, I mean, I think, like I say, I think he has really world-class kickboxing, like really good Moroccan-style kickboxing. Like I said, Dutch-style kickboxing. And he trains with really good wrestlers and stuff. So I expect him to come out and be able to do everything. I just don't think he's going to be able to show me something I've never seen before. And I think I have too much, just too unorthodox. Like he's dangerous. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not dangerous. He can knock you the fuck out, obviously. But it's nothing new. I don't think it's anything different. Like he does the same things and does this and does this. I'm like, it's cool and it's cool and it's powerful, but it's very predictable. And I think once I start touching him from out of range, it'll be a really big problem because his punches curl up, so he's taking about 3 or 4 inches off his reach. And I do the total opposite. I extend my punches, so I add about 3 or 4 inches to my reach. So we're doing the total opposite. He's gonna be swinging and missing air and stuff, and I think he's gonna end up putting himself in some type of desperate situation.
Your first 2 fights, back-to-back finishes, and I know we've talked about this before. You're not looking for the finish; it just comes to you. But fans, I'm pretty sure you get messages all the time, like, "Are you gonna get the finish?" It's almost expected now.
Dude, that's the problem. That's been my problem my entire career. My first amateur fight, I won by violent knockout. I mean, I hit this guy with this uppercut, and his feet were still pointing straight while he lay on the ground. And like the doctor grabbed him, and the referee grabbed him. He like laying his mouth open. So after that, that's all people expected. And then I used to go out and try to deliver. So now I'm just like, fuck y'all. I'm not giving y'all shit. I'm like, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna try to win. I'm gonna try to finish, but I'm not going out there and like fucking myself up just for your entertainment, because I don't get extra. Like, it's not like I had a fight in China where while you're fighting, people could put money into your bonus. So if you did crazier shit, like people just put money into your bonus. It was like a shoot boxing fight. It was
like Hunger Games.
So I'm doing like all kind of crazy shit, and like I'm trying to get more money because people are just putting money into your actual bonus and shit. If that was the case, if fans could like watch me fight and like call a number and be like, "Yo, put an extra $5 and come on." I do all kinds. I mean, like the UFC think of some shit like that, because I think that'd be cool, and I'd be doing all kind of crazy shit just to get extra money. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? So I go out there. We are definitely in a spectator sport. I'm definitely trying to entertain the fans, because that's just the type of fight I have. But like, fans booed my Devontae fight. I already said this before. You motherfuckers are stupid. Like, MMA fans are much needed, but also very, very dumb people. I love them, but the shit that they think is like, just throw a knife in already. No, like, let the motherfuckers figure the fight out. Like, they boo, and like it's insane. So like, I get messages all the time. People ask me, "Yo, should I bet on you for my last fight?" They're like, "You're a big underdog. You gonna win me this money, right?" Now that you motivated me, I'm not trying to win so I can feed my family. I'm trying to win so you can win your parlay on your fucking bet. Dude's like, "I got you. I'm gonna put." Seriously, this is a serious message. Guy was like, "I'm thinking about putting $1,000 on you. You think that's good? You gonna win, right?" Message me again. "Can I trust you to win me more money?" Like, I guess that's what it is. Like, I gotta talk to my boy Cody. I'm pretty sure he probably gets like thousands of messages from all kind of people like that. So it's just the way it is. So yeah, I'm expected to win, and win violently. And I try to. I tell people, I'm like, "Yo, I'm trying to entertain you. I want you to spill your popcorn and shit." That's the way it is. But like, that's not always going to happen. Like, I had him, like, my last decision fight. I fought this dude Joey Munez, and he was just tough. I hit him. I hurt my hand early on, and people were like, "What the fuck, man? You didn't knock him out." Like, people were like pissed as hell. Like, "Were you toying with him?" I'm like, no, I'm toying with a human that's trying to kill me. No, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to put him out. He just wouldn't go there, and I'm doing all my stuff. And like, I actually did a Rolling Thunder. It's like third round. I know it's like 15 seconds left, so I did a Rolling Thunder, and my head wrestling coach was like, "If you ever do some dumb shit like that for the fans," he was so mad. He was like, "They don't care about you. Like, don't care if they're like not getting enough excitement." He goes, "You just go out there. If the guy's not giving you what you need, then just take the freaking win." So that was funny. So, I mean, I take what I get.
Yeah. What about Cody, man? Garbrandt getting that flyweight title shot, man. That's incredible.
A lot of the flyweights are hating. I'm like, dog, like, MMA is a popular sport. Yeah. It's a popular sport, man. And Cody's popularity has always been good, and it's gonna be a tough fight. I think it's the toughest fight for the champ. Like, I don't think anyone else. I think there's like one or two other guys that can maybe give him a run, but like, it gives him a tough, and it can like kind of boost the weight class again, because Cody beats him, then he can fight his old teammate Jose Benavidez. You know what I mean? You'll see you sitting there like dripping, like, yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different potentials, different directions that they can go in. Jose Benavidez can win one more, maybe then fight Cody again for both. You never know. Like, you never know how that will go, or the talk that could come from it. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, shit. Why are people hating? They're like, "Oh, he won one fight." I'm like, stop being a hater. Like, shit. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you, like, I tell people all the time, like, yo, if you're hating on somebody for doing something, why don't you try it? Shit. Like, you know, I see what happens. Like, he obviously had his manager call up Dana, and they said, yeah. So it is. So, and I mean, I don't think you'll have a big problem making 25 either, because Cody's always been smaller. So I don't think you'll have a big problem making 25. So I think that'll be an interesting fight too.
Definitely, man. Exciting times, but you know, you
Yes.
step back in, September 5th,
Yes.
UFC Fight Night Vegas. Khama, always, man, it's good chatting with you, catching
Always.
up, and yeah, man, it's always fun, man. A big smile on your face all the time. Good luck on the fight. Be safe, man, and yeah, we'll be speaking again.
Definitely, bro. Oh, definitely, very soon.
Hey guys, Sasha Platnikoff here, letting you know to tune in to SCMP Postfight for all your weekly martial arts news.